Welcome back to our channel, Jain Brothers in Canada. We are back with our new series. It's a new video on a three-step process when you land as a new immigrant. I mean, I know that I have seen a lot of people struggling with getting their role back, especially the first job in Canada. Even myself, I think it was very hard for me to get the first job. And even a lot of my friends from my hiking group, as well as from my current role, as well as the other people whom I meet on a daily basis. So I feel this topic was necessary, which might can help to give some idea or give some guideline how you can approach in order to get your first job in Canada. Another question which I see is, of course, we have our own experience from our home country in some particular domain, right? For an example, I am from accounts receivable domain, right? So I have given 10 years to this domain. And after moving to a new country, I don't want to leave my AR role. But sometimes I feel like if you don't get a job for a couple of months, you feel like, should I change? Should I start as a fresher or not? So and especially because of no Canadian experience. So, I mean, I felt like there is a process. This is based on my experience. And after talking to a lot of people in Canada, especially to the new immigrants, I feel like there is a three-step process which we should follow. And that might help us to get back to our role. And I'll give you some realistic timeline. It may or may not work for everyone, but this worked in my case, and I feel like this might be helpful. So if you like this video, please do share it with your fellow new immigrants or with your friends and family members who are planning to come to Canada or who have recently landed in Canada. So without wasting much time, I'll proceed. As I stated in my previous videos, we are just sharing our experiences, how we came here. So that's the objective of the channel. We are not licensed immigrant consultants, so it's just our experience. And if you feel that we stated something incorrect or something misleading, please do share your feedbacks in our comments so that we can work on it, right? All right, let's move on. So as I was discussing, I feel like there is a three-step process. And it's not necessary that everyone has to follow this three-step process. But yes, I think this should give some idea. So first step, whenever you move to Canada, I feel like you should, the new immigrant should work on getting a survival job so that you get some cash in and you get some exposure out in Canada, you meet some new people. So, because whenever we come from a new country, like come to a new country, it's very hard that, like, if you're working in India for 10 years in AR, it's very hard that you get the same role with the same level in a new country, right? Because you need some time to, learn the work ethics, the market, job market, and everything. So that should be our first step, that getting a survival job. And it will help in networking, right? Also, you can use this period to complete some basic formalities as a new immigrant. I have made a video which is talking about what all things you should complete within first 3 or 6 months. So while you're getting a new, like a surviving job, you should complete this basic formalities. I'll put a link of that video in the description so that it might help you. Next thing is, of course, survival jobs. Survival jobs could be anything. It could be a restaurant job. It could be an admin job. It could be you're working as a food delivery person. It could be as a security officer. I have also stated a lot of such survival jobs in another video, which I'll put the description. Another thing which you can do is, if you're still struggling to get a survival jobs, you can there are a lot of organizations who's giving support to new immigrants. You can get the support, right? In every province, I feel like there are a lot of companies, organizations who are supporting new immigrants. They're helping in your resume making, they're helping in job fairs, and everything. Another thing is avoid job scams, because I know we are desperate of getting a job, but yes, we have to be careful that we are not getting into job scams, right? As I said previously, cash inflow. It's very necessary that you get something so that you get some Canadian dollars, because whenever we come from home country, our savings are in our home country. Like I'm from India, so my savings is in INR. So if I am out of job for 1, 2, 3 months, my savings will start getting over and it will put more pressure in my mind. So it's very important that we start getting some income. That's about the first step. The second step is getting a starting level job in your domain. So if I give my example, I was working as a account receivable manager back in India. So it's very hard. It's very hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very hard that I get the same manager level job in accounts receivable as soon as I moved to Canada. So I started as an account receivable specialist. So yeah, that should be our second step. Again, that will help in networking into the same role. Earlier, if I talk about this step 1, the networking helped me in getting an understanding of the job market, knowing more people, right? Here, now I'm making my focus on getting networking in my own field, which is accounts receivable, right? Certification. Now, as soon as I'm doing networking, I should start focusing on, let's say I am looking for account receivable manager role. So in LinkedIn, if I see an opening of account receivable manager, supervisor, what are they asking for? Are they asking for any specific Canadian certification? Like in my case, they were asking for CCP, which is Certified Credit Professional, right? So I did enrolled, okay? And it helped. I'll talk you in my third step. So similarly, LinkedIn plays a very important role in getting your role of your domain. So I would suggest that you should focus on applying a lot of jobs in your domain, irrespective of any position, any level. It's very important that you get back to your own domain, because right now, as you see, you started with step 1, which was a survival job. Now step 2 is getting a role in your profile. Meetup events. Again, it will help you in more networking. And sometimes, this process, like the whole 3-step process is very exhausting, right? So joining meetup events based on your interest could be hiking, could be board games, could be job fairs, anything. It will help you to, again, do more networking and also, getting more friends and making a circle. In step 2, I would recommend you to focus on applying a lot number of jobs. So what I mean is you should focus on quantity of application instead of quality of applications. And I'll talk more about it. I know that in Canada, people focus on making a cover letter, making a resume based on the job description, which is important, but that I would recommend to focus on step 3, and I'll talk about it in step 3 as well. In step 2, it's very important that you apply a lot of jobs in your domain, irrespective of any category. And I won't suggest you to, make a different resume for each job description. Make a standard resume, which is talking about most of the generic things in your profile, and keep applying for as much possible, right? Again, don't worry about how much you're getting, what role you're getting. Okay, first is that you're getting a role in your domain. Okay, third step. Now it comes that now you're getting your role, same role back in your profile. That's the third and the final step. That now, let's say I was working as account receivable manager. Now my third priority should be, I am looking for account receivable manager or account receivable supervisor or a credit manager role in Canada, right? Again, networking. If you see, the networking is common in all the 3 steps, because that's what Canada or any new country, it's its most important step, that you do a lot of networking, right? And this was the major drawback, I would say, or a major step which is required. Either you have a Canadian certification or you have some Canadian work experience. So I know Canadian work experience will take time, but as I mentioned in my step 2 about certification, in my case, CCP, in your case could be, if you're HR, it could be CPHR. If you're IT, it could be any local certification based on IT. If you are an admin, if you are in security. So there are a lot of job, local certification which you can look for. And how you will find it? Of course, looking at the job description and the job requirements of your desired role. So Canadian work experience will take time, which you will continue getting it from the step 2, right? But certification, you can enroll right away. But make sure you do a lot of research based on the job requirements for your desired role. Here, I would suggest that you focus on quality job applications instead of quantity, because now you already have a job in your role, right? Step 2 already gave you your basic entry level or maybe a specialist level role in your domain. So now you don't have to apply a lot of jobs. You just have to focus on your, specific desired role. And I'm sure there won't be much opening. So even if you're applying one job in 2 weeks or one job in 4 weeks, make sure you're putting a lot of efforts, like you're making a proper cover letter. You are adjusting your resume based on the job description, right? You're paraphrasing. You're making sure that whatever skills they are required, if you have one, you are specifying it. So that's where I'm talking about quality job applications. Spend at least 1 hour before hitting the submit button and the apply button, right? Because that's important. That will give you or the hiring manager a lot of sense that, okay, this person can be considered because you have put some efforts, you have made your resume, you have specified that the skills they're looking for, you have done similar level of role or similar level of experience. You have similar level of experience in your previous jobs. Now, as I said, focus on your resume and cover letter. Now, timeline. Ideal timeline for the first step is you should do, or you might be doing a survival job for first 3 months before getting a starting level job. And I would say it should not take 6 months, more than 6 months for you to get a starting level job in your profile. If it is taking more time, then I would say change your strategy, right? Focus again, revisit what steps you're doing. Have you done everything which is mentioned here? Or maybe based on your experience, based on some other's experience, try and think that if it's taking more than 6 months, there's something wrong. So ideally, you should get your first level job in 3 months, but yeah, 6 months should be max. Step 2, ideal timeline again, that 3 to 6 months, you should get your first level job. You should be doing the first level entry job, and now you're focusing on the third level job. And I would say 9 months. In 9 months or a year, you should be having this starting level job. That's the max. Third, getting to the same level where you were at should be after 1 year of your landing. You should have the same role back as whatever you had in your home country, and maximum 1.5 year, 18 months, that you should have your role back. So I'll give you a scenario. Let's say if you landed here in January 2023, so you should be doing the survival jobs till March or April. You should be getting your first role by July or August. And by the end of December 2023 or max by January 2024, you should be at the same level where you were at in India or in your home country. And max, maybe by July next year, you should have that role. If you do not have it, then try changing a strategy, do more networking, focus on the certification, meetups, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the key. There's a lot of things which people don't know about LinkedIn. Like even if I talk about, if you're applying for one job, you should be, reaching out to the HRs, the talent advisors of that company. You should be sending them the connect request, the follow request. If they accept, you should be sending them a message saying that, hi, thank you for accepting my job, my connection request. I'm new to Canada, something like that, right? I have applied for a role in your company. Can you please take a look and let me know if if an interview can be arranged? Try to sell yourself that I have done a similar level of job. I have 6 years, 7 years of experience. So I'll be glad that if you can, get an interview fixed. And to be honest, they are very helpful. But you have to reach out to at least 10 to 15 people of that company, the talent people, the account receivable professionals. In my case, in your case, it could be your domain experts, right? That really helps. So this was the video which I was talking about, that this is the formalities which a new immigrant should be doing after landing here. And if you see, it says the driving license, knowledge test, and road test. So while you're doing the survival jobs, while you're searching for your role, make sure you're completing these formalities, which gonna help you in other areas, like getting a extra income, or getting more certification and everything. And these are some kind of survival jobs which I have mentioned in another video. I'll share the link of these 2 videos. You can take a look and see if it can help you. And also, I have mentioned in the same video, the second video, about how you should focus on what kind of jobs you can get, like a full-time job. I have also talked about certification, survival jobs, and everything here. And I have also mentioned about a job scam, which can help you, to avoid some kind of job scam which are going here. Because whenever we are desperate of something, we might end up getting into a scam. All right. So that's all about this video. I hope it may help you in getting a first job or getting your role back where you were at back in your home country. If you think this was helpful, please subscribe to our channel, share this video with your fellow immigrants, fellow friends, family members, hit the like button. If you have any feedback, share in the comment section. If you think that I need to specify any topic from this video, I need to be more detailed, I can go ahead and make a new video on that particular topic. Just let me know in the comment section and I'll be there for you. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.